Hello. How is everyone doing? Bonjour. Hola. Tudo bem? How's everyone doing? Just going to wait for people to join a little bit. Join a little bit. The one thing that's annoying about, and yeah, I'm going to start this off with a complaint, minor one, is this is backwards. So anything I show you comes out backwards. That's annoying. That's annoying. So, how is everyone? How have we been? How have we been? Doesn't make any sense, does it? How have we been? Still waiting for people to join. So, I suppose I might as well explain what today is. I know you're looking at the thumbnail and thinking, I thought this was mental health advice, and it is. You are free to ask me anything you like. I'll make sure that I keep looking up at the chat to make sure that I'm staying engaged with you guys. But a core part of the ADHD platform way of therapy includes creativity. We know that the creative side of our brain doesn't often get the luxury of exercising itself, and just taking a bit of time to express yourself creatively through art, or to highlight something that you've gone through, to journal, to take photographs and document beautiful aesthetics that make you feel good. They can also be really good at telling stories. Creativity is fantastic, and it doesn't have to just be used. Doesn't just have to just be used in just a therapeutic, like serious setting. I love art therapy, but there are so many things that you can do at home that honor this creativity in you. And if you're thinking, I'm really not a creative type of person, bear in mind what I mean by creativity. So I don't necessarily mean that you are fantastic at art, that you're really good at drawing details and faces and drawing people from memory, or your artist skills are just above and beyond. I'm not expecting that from anyone. What I mean by creativity is our ability to problem solve. And neurodivergent individuals, especially people with ADHD, autism, you'll find that these people, although they struggle with words and organization and social skills, and they have an incredible ability. Some, I'm not saying all neurodivergents, we're not going down that road. I will say many of the people that I meet that come to us are unbelievably creative in many ways, whether it is their ability to figure out how they are going to feed 4 kids and their husband and get everything done in that day, despite being absolutely shattered. You know, that is problem solving, and that is creativity. The ADHD mind, for example, is fantastic for looking outside of the box and thinking of things that the average neurotypical brain might miss. Michael Vincent says, you look like the lady from the movie Contact. I have never seen that film. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but as I've not seen it yet, I'm just going to take it as a compliment. Oh, Jodie Foster. Damn, I'll take it. Do you know what? The movie Contact. Oh my God. I do know about that film. I've never watched it, but one of my favorite drag queens, it's one of their favorite films. Do you remember your dreams? I do. I absolutely love dream analysis. I know a lot of people get kind of annoyed at people talking about their dreams. I am the total opposite. I love dream work and I love remembering my dreams. My dreams can go from heartbreakingly realistic to like very mundane. Um, and there's so many different schools of thoughts and how to analyze them as well. So I find them really fun. Why do humans dream? So there's multiple schools of thought, like I said, but a really common approach is this understanding that your brain is relaxing at night. It needs to recharge. And a way that it can recharge through all that stuff that's happened throughout the day is processing it. Almost like after you've finished eating and you go to bed, your body does a different thing at night. It does to your saliva, it does to your metabolism. So what's going on in your brain, they believe, is if I can get you to picture it like a library, every day you are bringing up new memories, you're getting new books, you are remembering old books, you're getting them out of the shelf, these are old memories, you're interacting with people, you're collaborating on books. And at the end of the day, if you can just picture, you've got so many books. So many different random files of paper from different conversations you were going to have, and then you led off and had different ones, different thoughts that you had that were interrupted, and they are just sat there. So this idea that at night, the brain almost goes through these files and puts them back into the right place. Again, this is a simplified idea. This is just for you to visualize. And some of the anxieties that you feel, these can be much harder books to find out where they go. How do you figure out where this, I don't remember quite where that went. Does it fit on that shelf anymore? These books can be a lot harder. So you process them for a lot longer, which is why if you're going through an anxious situation, you will dream of that thing. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a deadline, if you've got a job interview, if you've got something really important coming up, that will be the thing that you most likely dream of if you're anxious about it. Where are you from? England. I am from England. Yes, right in the centre. Hello, Catherine. Hello, beautiful. How are you? I miss you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Why do humans always run slower in dreams? So I think this is the body anyway, when you go to sleep, does this thing where it shuts off physically to stop you reenacting anything. Some people struggle to really get that sensation if they can't physically move their body. Another reason that you could be experiencing this is that is the manifestation of your anxiety or whatever you're processing in your dream. If you're feeling very impatient about a subject, you can feel like that is manifesting subconsciously in an aspect of your dream. Remember, your dreams are so subconscious that they have to be that way, or you'll wake up. And we know that our suppressed shadow, right, comes out in our dreams when there's no barrier, when there's no social situations that are trying to dumb down that real you, that part of you that has fears, that has pleasures that you don't like sharing. Another interesting thing about running slow in your dream, do you ever find punching? I know for me, I have never punched anyone in the face. But when I go to do it in dreams, it's like my arm just turns into like spaghetti and goes like past the person's face. I don't know who I think I am trying to punch people in my dreams. But that's another example of like my body doesn't know what that sensation feels like. Therefore, how can it give me that sensation in a dream, if you know what I mean? You mean like you're running in water? See, water is a huge symbol for dreams. Water can represent many things, but quite commonly it is your emotions. So when we see water in a dream, it's interesting to look at what kind of water is it. Is it a still calm? Are you drowning in it? Is it a really rough storm? Or is it like a light rain that you can smell the warm floor? What about when you see snakes biting you in a dream? I mean, Freud would have a field day with that one, right? Snake. It's already considered a phallic symbol. So Freud might look at that and think that you are suppressing some homosexual tendencies. However, there's a reason that psychodynamics has gone beyond Freud's thoughts, and we don't subscribe to him wholeheartedly anymore. So it's understanding what that snake means to you. Did you feel the bite? What happened before? Trying to understand what these snakes might represent to you might help you understand why you're having that dream. If you dream about me, will I feel it in my dream? So I don't personally believe that. However, there are multiple accounts, stories, whether you believe them or not, of people being able to meet up in dreams. Again, from a purely psychological standpoint, I don't believe. However, if it ever happens, I swear I will come straight on here and tell you that it happened and hold my hands up. That's where I am with that. So, I don't know if you've heard about zines, but that's what we're going to make today. Again, this is all backwards. If you've never heard of a zine is literally a free type of publication that you can make yourself. And it kind of comes from the word magazine, right? Which comes from another one. But magazines are very different because they contain mostly adverts. It is capitalist, how to make you feel bad, how to make you feel poor, how to make you feel fat, how to make you feel ugly. So magazines are a little bit when we want to express ourselves or tell a story or get some form of creative communication across to people, we can use zines, and they can be made completely handmade, like this one. This is literally made from one piece of paper. And you fold it together and it becomes just a little book. And you can make loads of these and add them together. It's very cute. It can be full of words. You can put pictures in it, decorate it however you like. But the main idea of it is that you get to publish something how you want it to. And you can go even a step further. You can scan it in or completely create it digitally on like a PDF file, print it out, send it to people, put it on your Etsy shop, or just give it to friends. I think they're a really nice present for people. You know, just a zine on like why I'm your friend, why I love you. Such a cute little idea. But one thing that I encourage my clients to do is when they've had a bit of an aha moment, like the penny's dropped and we're, ooh, that's a core moment there where maybe a core belief has just started to, maybe I don't fully subscribe to that core belief anymore. I encourage them to make a zine. And it can be as long or as short. It can be 1 page, it can be 2 pages, it can be 50 pages. It really is up to you. But I think it's a really good medium. And then by doing that, you can be like, hey friends, hey family, this is something I learned about myself. And for the people that are wanting to support you, it's a great tool to kind of understand it in a more personable level, rather than just like going on the NHS website and looking at really vague advice and tips for whatever psychological condition or symptoms you might be experiencing. So, creativity. I'm going to make one today on authenticity. Authenticity, just like creativity, is at the core of ADHD. ADHD being a different human design. That's going to get a bit confusing. For anyone that doesn't know, A Different Human Design is a non-profit platform that me and the founder, a lovely Lindsay, she set it up in 2022, and we provide advocacy and support and resources resources for people with ADHD, autism, sensory difficulties, dyslexia, dyscalculia, all that good stuff. But it's basically a wider umbrella term for championing the different. Anyone that's felt othered by society, made to feel like you are less than, especially at a time right now in America. Oh my word. This platform is more vital than ever. I refuse to have what's happening in America come over here. So we want to try and support people with these conditions, whether you are diagnosed or not, to ensure that you get support, because there is a huge gap in care. And we hear the same stories of, my kid's been diagnosed, they're on the waiting list, it could be 8 years until they're, and it's heartbreaking. So if you can come to us, we don't need you to have a diagnosis. We're not prescribing you medicine. We are just giving information, advice, psychoeducation about yours or your child's experience and how we can manage it better. So, just like creativity, we have authenticity. You cannot fully champion how different you are if you don't fully understand who you are. Quite often with neurodivergence, especially autism, ADHD too, that idea of masking becomes so prominent. But masking is something that neurotypicals do as well. And we need to tackle it. We need to tackle it because we're losing our real selves trying to please other people or to be liked or accepted. And that's just not good enough. So let's get started. I've got some pre-written things so that I'm not just writing in front of you guys, but this first one says, being your authentic self is crucial for emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Authenticity refers to living in alignment with your values, emotions, and beliefs, while embracing your unique identity. However, social pressures, fear and judgment, and internalized expectations can lead to a loss of authenticity. Now that sounds like a way better put together version than what I was just rambling on about, which is why we put it concisely to go in here. And I've got a few written pieces like that that can go in. I don't think I'm going to get it all done today. We can carry on Monday or whenever. But I'd love to see yours. If you'd like to show me yours, A Different Human Design, if you go to our website, adifferenthumandesign.co.uk, or if you email me, adifferentpodcastofficial@gmail.com, I'd love to see them. Please send them to me. And you can do that because if you scan them as a PDF, you can literally send them. You don't have to print them out and spend loads of money for yourself. You can allow people to print them out yourself and be like, oh, it's such a fun medium. Let's go. So I've got a few things as well. I've got like little stamps. These are very cheap, but very cheap. They work. They're from the range. I think they were like £3. See how well they work. I've never really used them before. And then we've got a load of different like washi tapes. This is so cute. There's some pink types too. Again, you have not misread the thumbnail. If you have any psychological or emotional or mental health type questions, please do ask. We're getting creative while we support our mental health. I know authenticity for me is really important because I did spend a lot of my childhood feeling out of place, like I didn't fit in. So I did everything I could to try and fit in. And at a detriment, sorry, to myself. Like it really, it's not good for the soul. You do things that you don't really want to do, ranging in different types of severity, you know, from just going places that I didn't want to do to getting involved with people that I knew I shouldn't have been getting involved with. But all out of that fear of not being liked. And I'd go from one group to another thinking like, who am I? I feel kind of fake that one second I'm hanging with the emo kids and then the next I'm looking with I'm hanging out with the more popular kids. And at different points I'd feel more comfortable with each party. It was really strange. Sometimes I'd want to wear tracksuits, sometimes I'd want like goth type makeup. And I always felt like I never fully knew who I was. I was just trying to fit in. And I wish someone would have just said, I think what you're into is people just being different, just going against the grain. And that in itself is like an interest. That is my authentic self. I'm not an emo or, oh, that was hard to say. I'm not a metalhead. I'm not a chav. Do we have chavs anymore? Are they roadmen now? I don't know. But yeah, I was never one of these categories. I was into people and things that were different. We know this term now as alternative. And therefore, I am always attracted to other people and other things that are different. Learning that about myself was quite relieving, because this idea that I had to conform one way or another to be accepted, to be considered not fake, it blew my mind. And I only learned that a few years ago. And that blows my mind even more, right? How can you be a grown-ass woman just learning that you just like things that are different? That's it. And that's a different human desire, right? Different. We are championing the word different. We've been made to feel like we're different in a negative way for so long that now I'm owning it. I am different. I wouldn't want to be like anyone else. So I'm going to make a zine about it. Now, you can make these, like I said, that was a single sheet one. I unravel that again. You can make one literally out of one sheet of paper, and I'll show you how to do that now. So you take one piece of paper. This is A4. I know in America you have different sizes and they're absolutely crazy. Get on to the A4 system. But I do like the terminology used when you fold stuff. So we're going to fold it hot dog style. Then we're going to go in half, hamburger style. And then we're going to go half again, hamburger style. And then when you unfold it, you can see there is the 8 different sections. So fold it over, hamburger style again. And then we're going to cut to the middle line from the edge. Make sure that you do it on the closed line rather than making it just like fluffy edges. So there's your thing. And now there's a hole in the middle. If you turn it hot dog style again and then squeeze it in, then you literally have a teeny booklet. And that is the start of your first zine, if you'd like it to be. If you'd like it to be. I'm going to go for something a little bit bigger. I started making this last night just out of like doodling. I think I'm going to use it, but it's a little bit too big, so that as a cover doesn't really work. So we're going to take some sheets. And that way, if I want to add any more sheets, I can as we go along. Is any of this making sense? Does anyone know of a way that they have been hiding their authentic self? Is the term masking new to anyone? I imagine not anymore. I can't see it being. Although I am amazed sometimes when some people have not heard a term just because it gets repeated in my life so often. I'm going to cut round that. And yeah, so your authentic self. I don't think these scissors are good enough. Ooh. I'm making it work. Always save the offcuts. You never know what they could be used for. I mean, until, if you have a craft box, or until the end of the creation, they'll just keep on to these. Who'll be a hoarder like me. Okay. So there's a few pages there. Just a little book. And you can bind them with some staples down the middle, or you can sew it. That's so cute. So, authenticity. The importance of authenticity. I really wish this wasn't backwards. That's so annoying. I don't really know where to go. I'm so excited. I'm glad it's not starting with that, because I would literally be like, ugh. We need a title page, right? Our authentic self. So I think what could go really well with this is the contrast in something like a Slimming World magazine. Something that really goes, I don't know. I feel like it's going to have a bit of persuading you to not be your authentic self. I lost over 40 stone and found my sparkle, as if losing weight is what's going to make you feel happier about yourself. And generally, sure, if that's something that's causing you depression, 100%. The amount of clients that I've spoke to that have lost weight and they're still like, I really thought I'd feel better in myself. And it's that idea of, again, trying to be pretty, what society considers pretty, versus your authentic self. So you may have lost a load of weight and you feel better healthily in yourself, but mentally you don't really connect with the person you see in the mirror. Does that make sense? So you have to do the work up here. There's no point doing the physical work and not doing it up here. In all fairness, something like your average housewife kind of magazine would be way better. But I want to look for images that just go against that authentic self, whether it's like perfection, unreal beauty standards. Be inspired. Ooh. Actually, you know what? I love that term. Love that term. Oh no, I cut through the P. Oh no, that's not good, is it? That's not good, is it? I'm not talking like that. Be inspired. Ugh. Be inspired to be the real you. When you're doing that, you will inspire others to be the real them. You will attract people who are more authentic. and people will just respond to you better. Like, we know what it feels like to talk to someone that isn't being 100% right, that isn't like fully giving you the real them. And you can sense it a mile away, like, it just, yeah, I don't like it. So I really don't like the idea that I'd ever come across that way to someone else. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Someone came and said I look like Jodie Foster. Who agrees? Who agrees? Like, be inspired. To be yourself. There is a you there. The bright future starts today. I guess that kind of works. Success found. Lost 5 stone, opened up my world. Shout out, by the way. I don't want anyone to think that I am discrediting any weight loss journey. Shout out. It's not an easy feat, and I think society makes it even harder. Shout out to my girlies on Ozempic as well. I know many don't agree with me, but I think it's a game changer. I'm so happy that these women that have really struggled with more than, we know it's not just diet, right, and how much you exercise. Sometimes it's a good chance that it's genetics more commonly. So moving more and eating less isn't always the answer. So I'm all for Ozempic. Anxiety no longer holds me back. I love that. I'm in control of my diabetes on the other side, so I don't need that one. Anxiety no longer holds me back. Congratulations, Aisha. I love that for you. We love that for Aisha. I'm an active and pain-free mum. Shout out, Lindsay. No one's talking surgery now. Fantastic. If you're managing to lose the weight, that it means that you don't have to go through these chronic procedures. Oh. And not so much a well done, more like a, that must be relieving, right? The idea of going under isn't always that nice. I can breathe easy after 30 years. I'm not gonna lie, I've been looking for things that, it's just making me hungry. Sweet ideas. Maybe authentically, I love food. Now I'm thinking this is just going to be more about food, Slimming World. I thought it was going to be a little more, I don't know, editorial, fashion, unrealistic beauty standards. Lose a stone this month. I don't know where I got these magazines from. Authentic self. Ooh, I like this woman. Stop wishing, start doing. Oh my. Yes. Stop wishing you are someone else. Stop wishing you could have somebody else's life. Never wish for someone else's life. It's not bad to wish for a life like somebody else's. You don't want to be somebody else. You're totally missing out what they go through, the negative experiences. I'm sure if you found them out, you keep your own body and mind. Try something new. Be friendly. What's this for? 7 ways to stay motivated. Asking for a friend. Focus on your aims. Have a clear intention and be transparent with your goals. Not bad advice. Be friendly. Find a buddy or group to exercise with because nothing works better. Oh, this is motivated to exercise purely. I see. I'm sure it's all transferable. Try something new. Have a why. Why am I doing this? Treat myself. Get a personal trainer. Superfoods. Supercharge. I should have re-looked at some of these, right? Maybe I need like a nice... She looks happy. Does she look like she's being her authentic self? I don't know. Oh, exercises. Oof. The temptation trap. That looks like a lovely piece of chocolate on a mouse trap. What are you doing? To scare me thin. A lot of fat and night chills, sweet dreams. Oh, we were talking about dreams. Did the alarm clock drag you from your slumber this morning, leaving you wishing you could huddle back under the covers? You're far from being the only one, Dr. Seeley says. Hey, for my ADHD boys and girls, our brains are not ready in the morning, right? Let's say a little prayer for the ADHDers that have to get up early. I like this pie chart. I feel like this can be used somehow. I know you sat waiting, like, are you going to get on with this zine? What would you make a zine of? You can literally, when I say you can make them about anything, I realise that can be a little bit daunting for people because they need some frame of reference to start from before their brain can get in gear. You could do it to tell a story about a cat that you have. You could use a zine to tell a story about a cat that you don't have. You can completely make it up. You could do one about a holiday that you went on, a trip. Yeah, loads of things. But like I said, send them to me. A different podcast official at gmail.com. Please send me your zines. I'd love to check them out and make a little collection. And we can go through them. I'm having no luck with the be your authentic self. I'm not going to lie. It was a... Ooh, happiness hack. Being your authentic self is 100% a happiness hack. Ooh, I can't get the page. Come on. Happiness hacks. You know what? I think that deserves to go on the front page. I love that. Wait, I'm just being... It doesn't need to go on the front page. I'm just being... Sleep your way slim. Now that is an exercise routine I can get on board with. Come on, let's get some really... Okay. Psychologies with Nicole Kidman on the front. When is this from? When is this from? February 2019. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. How stunning is that? I love that. That's what I'm after. Do, 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 do. Oh, I was going to cut a board around it, but never mind. Cut it straight out now. Yeah, ding dong. What do we do when we make a mistake? Do we have a go at ourselves? It doesn't do anything for us, does it? quite the opposite. It doesn't help at all. Okay, I'm at the point where I'm like, do I just miss the front page? Do I just get going with that bit? Right here, right now. I'm looking for something sober curious. How to be sober curious back in 2019. I love this. Ooh, I also love that that says emotional intelligence. Emotional. Emotional. How beautiful is that? That's so pretty. Do we have any artists in the chat? Oh, Nicole Kidman, you beauty. Farewell, sweetheart. Oh. How to be your authentic self. I don't know if that really works, but it could work in another zine for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Create yourself financial security. Oh my word! I didn't even notice there was a little loggy down there. Ah. Shout out Gabriella and her little dog and her beautiful garden. Did anyone catch Elon yesterday? What are we thinking about that? What are our views? Did we see it? I think we saw it. I think we saw it. Past pleasures. Let's fall in love with life. Make it happen. Don't take it personally. Ooh, I like it. Fake it till you make it. Ooh, we have two conflicting sides. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to compromise. I want the girl's face from this side. And I fake it till you make it. I think. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But speaking about don't take it personally. Do you have any rejection sensitive dysphoria babes in the chat? I am with you. I actually watched a really heartbreaking example of it on one of my favorite podcasts. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the H3 podcast. Olivia is a researcher and producer. She's on nearly every episode, and she's been so excited for years, it seems, for this new Wicked film. She's a huge theatre buff. She loves she's loved Wicked as a play for a very long time, and when she found out that Ariana Grande was doing it and just the whole spectacle, she's been like wrapped up in it. The complete opposite of someone who's like sick of it. And it seemed like some people in the crew that she works for, some of them, and works with the rest of them, she clearly very much appreciates and admires their opinion on her. And we know with rejection sensitivity, like, it doesn't actually need to be a real form of rejection on that other person's side. Sometimes it could just be that they are sharing an opinion and you feel it. It cuts so much deeper. So she sat there while her bosses, who she loves and adores, are saying, I didn't really think it was all that it. Actually, I thought the songs were all bad. And you can see with every negative point they're making, Olivia's like, don't, I can't. And you can see she's trying to like be funny because it's like she's at work and on camera and live on the internet, and her bosses are coming for her special interest. A literal, like, she's been going on about this for so long, I can't get it across. It was, oh. And you could see her like almost getting like tearing. And the producer, who is often very supportive, um, even he was like, there's no reason to take it personally. And I was like, God damn it. Like, we need people to support the neurodivergent brain. That it's some neurodivergent people's brain. People get so mad when I categorize, they think I mean everyone. Rejection sensitivity dysphoria doesn't have to make any logical sense to anyone. It is felt in here. It is an emotional response, and it is a visceral response. Your brain is not in that executive state. It's not processing things correctly. It's not making judgments correctly. It's not planning. It's stuck in emotion and it feels triggered. And that idea of like something you love being shat on by someone that you appreciate and love, and you just want to love them. Like, when you love something, when it is your special interest, you'll see that a lot of us do keep it to ourselves because we want to show it to other people. But that fear of it being like shot down or made out to be anything other than the perfect thing you see it as, it's just not worth trying to go through. It's heartbreaking. And yeah, my heart went out to her by the end of it. Someone was like, are you crying? She was like, no, like joking, but you could see there's a tear in her eye. I just wanted to jump through the screen. And I think it's quite interesting when we talk about rejection sensitivity dysphoria, because it happens so often. I see it a lot. Love Island at the minute, oh my God, so many examples of it happening. Love is Blind happens constantly on that. You can see these real working examples. I think a real common one for me is my friend group, when they're like, you can see that something goes from just talking about something to really defensive, and then they become triggered and you're like, okay, I think I just touched on something then. I think I just offended them with a bit of an opinion on something. And it makes me feel so bad because I never want to do anything. I never want to make someone feel like I'm shaming them or making them feel bad for anything. So yeah. Yeah. Right, let's have a go. Let's try and build this front cover. I don't know if I like this as a front cover. I think I might change it and put it at the back. What do we think? No, I will keep it at the front. So, authentic self. I've got a load of, they're called record cards on here, but I know them as like flashcards, study cards. They're great little, they're great for crafts because they're just small, if you want to write on them, if you want to pull bits out. And I'm going to use it as kind of like an old school notebook. You know what I mean? Like an old school exercise book. So to do that, I'm just going to cut it down a tiny wee bit and place that on the front there. See? You see? Just like that. How shall I put it down? I want to put that there with tape, I believe. Let's get some glue on it. Now, is this a new glue? Have I used it before? It's not got one of them. How many times do you go through something and you just like that for ages? Okay, that's a lot of glue. Probably didn't need that much glue, but I like that bit on there. I think I would. I'm going to double use it. Put that over there. Oh. Again, if you ever put too much glue on something, let that thing be the glue stick for things you're putting on glue. Other things you're putting on glue. Does that make any sense? Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't mean anything. How is the chat, by the way? How are you? We had some talk about dreams before. I absolutely love talking about dreams. Oh. Okay. That's my attempt. The front of a zine. It's not too bad. So I think I want a border. And I'm going to use some yellow craft tape, I think. And I'm just going to place it around the edges. Do we like crafting, by the way? We like it. No choice. We're doing it. I absolutely love it. I can feel like I just start to relax. All the stresses of the day. Yes, already. Already. They're just melting away. So I really appreciate any time that I get to just slow down and make something cute. Express myself in one way or another. You know? You know? So now I really want to, I have these letters, but I don't know how to stamp them because I don't have straight paint, if you know what I mean. I have, what do we do? What do we do, guys? I think, oh, maybe I can make it up with letters in this. Ooh, okay. Okay, we can do this. Do I just put it across there? Do I have enough space for that? A-U-N-T-H-C-R, not really. Okay, we are going to do that. We're doing it. We're biting the bullet. Let's go. Can we do it in pen like this? This is just a watercolor pen. I don't know how well this is going to stamp. Say a little prayer with me. Oh, it worked. What? Okay. Now this is the bit where I spell it wrong. That would be so, like, it's the most ADHD thing you've done this week. Tried to make some content, spelled authenticity wrong. Just when I thought everything was going right. That's ADHD, right? Just when you feel like everything's going right. Don't trust it. Ooh, that was very close to the A, but so far, we've spelt it right. A-U-T-H. Okay. T. Let's get the T. What's the T? Six. Oh my god, so cringe. Anyone that still says, what's the T? Non-ironically. I put enough on? Oh, I'm too excited about this. This is probably terrible to watch. I'm just having fun. They say to not, when you're making content, to not try and fit in, not try and make what other people are making. Make what makes you happy. You know what? I'm happy. I'm very happy. Oh. I am very conscious that I might spell authenticity wrong though. Bring the chat up on here so I can actually see it. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a bit too close. Okay. Learning my lesson. Or then I need an E. I'll have an E. Carol. Oh, it should give numbers, didn't she? I used to hate countdown. That should be on the diagnostic ADHD test, I believe, or at least the dyscalculia one. Do you want to leave the room every time countdown comes on? I used to hate it. And the words, to be fair. I'm pretty good with, generally with words. Oh no, the E went off. It went all wonky. It's about concentrating. I've got to concentrate. If only that wasn't my biggest flaw in life. N. These are very new. But it's working. I'm impressed. Oh, then I wish the letter correlated with where it is on the stamp. That'd make it a lot easier. Authenticity, authentic self. I think we do authentic self. I think that's better. Don't you? Have you ever made a zine? I love it as a medium. And something I'd love to do a workshop on. If you would like to attend a zine workshop with some therapeutic undertone. Ooh, the C came off, but I think that looks kind of cool still. We'll keep it. Authentic. I'm going to do this one in orange because it will match the other orange on the page, I hope. She says. She wishes. She hopes. But does she score? It went in, but it rolled in. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't anything special. Oh, now I'm worried that... Oh, no, okay. Oh, messy in my pens. When you put one pen over another pen. Oops. There's no mistakes in creativity. Just opportunities to embrace not being perfect. I know for me, perfectionism is a real difficult thing to maneuver sometimes. Especially when I'm not that good at anything. What's the point in being that rigid in your expectations of yourself when you're not that good at that thing? Make it make sense. I don't like how this self turned out, I'm not going to lie. That's fine. That's fine. It's just a part of the creative process. Authentic self. One thing I forgot about, glue. It takes so long to dry. Thankfully, I can take this away, let that dry separately. We can start on this. So I always like the first page to be left as like a, I don't know, what is that word? Like a noting, to be noted, to be sent to other people, I don't know. So I like starting on this one. Being your authentic self. For anyone who missed it before, being your authentic self is crucial for emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Authenticity refers to living in alignment with your values, emotions, and beliefs while embracing your unique identity. However, social pressures, fear of judgment, and internalized expectations can lead to loss of authenticity. I love this idea that what parts of it makes up of the self. So I feel like some, not bar charts exactly, but some idea that represents these three different things. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm losing my mind on this one now. I think I'm just going to place them and see where they go. Okay. If this one says, being your authentic self can feel risky. Now, in our screen-obsessed world, we're just trying to fit in, be liked, and be accepted by other human beings. And as a result, the images we present, both online and in person, have become more representations of who we think we should be, rather than who we actually are. So how do we remove the mask and start to live authentically? That can go on that page. Again, doesn't have to be that, you know. I'm also considering doubling up the pages because this is just print paper. It's really not that great. If you were to use like a cartridge paper, it'd be much smoother. It'd be a lot more stable. I love this image. I feel like just in the middle there would be really nice. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Now, I really don't need as much glue as I've been being silly with, so I'm going to stop being silly with the glue. Every so often I just realise that I'm sat here talking to myself and realise how not weird that's been feeling. I love it. Anxiety no longer holds me back. I wish I'd put that under there to be fun. To be honest, psychology. That looks nice. I love the look at that. Do I wish it was underneath? Maybe. That looks kind of nice too. I'll try that. Ooh, I'm having fun. Okay, we're rolling. 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 Oh, do not start singing. Oh my god. Apologies. Won't be doing it again. Okay, emotional psychology. And then on this one, just kind of do the same. The four corners, or dotting it as it were, rather than going all the way. Just filling the whole centre in. I think we learned that at art school, didn't we? Like in primary school. Right? It was an early lesson to learn. Okay, what other things do we have? Okay, I feel like that does actually kind of work. Putting it a bit over there. Yes, yes, I love that. Okay. There's so many things that I want to make zines on. I think a really famous one is by an artist called Tom Sachs, and he basically explains in his most, I think, well-remembered zine is him explaining how his workshop works, how to work in his workshop, like where everything's kept, the reason things are kept, why he uses certain things. Very interesting. At least I think it is. Who knows? But yeah, I feel like that's where this comes in. But first, I want some tape. I want some nice. There's a lot of blues and some oranges in this. And I kind of want to carry that theme on throughout, you know? That's the idea anyway. I'm just kind of placing this on, and I apologize if you're looking at this and being like, oh, what's she doing aesthetically? That makes me so mad. That's fine. You're very much welcome to your artistic preference, but that's fine. I think that's the beauty about art, right? You kind of learn what you like and don't like through looking at other people's art. And a way I can practice my rejection sensitive dysphoria management is by honoring that part of myself. Fake it till you make it. Not a good idea, is it? I think I'm going to put some tape through this. Ooh. Oh. Let's try and get some nice typography. We can change this to don't. It's music. I'm not singing. We've gone way over the hour, but I'm just having fun now. I'm here for the ride. Don't. Very fun. Oh, I like that. Don't fake it till you make it. Again, this is going to be backwards. I'm so sorry. And that looks so cute. Carrying the themes of the blues and the pinks across, the kind of salmony pinks, which are beautiful. So I think that idea of, can you hear my cat outside? He's yelling. The idea of don't fake it till you make it. Don't fake being someone else, but you can be inspired. I think that's so important. So I think a bit of that on there would be great. A bit of that on there with a descriptive language, don't we, guys? Like I said, I'm not going to be finishing this. We could take more questions next week. Be inspired. Where's the bee? Where is the bee? So where's that orange pen again? These are great, by the way. These are paint markers, just acrylic paint markers. I think I got like 7 of them or something for around $3.99 from Home Bargains. And they're awesome. They write really nicely. At least I think they do anyway. Yeah, I really like that. What else can we add to it? I don't want to go too overboard, but similarly, I don't really want to just leave it plain Jane. I think we've got space for some more blue. You're so right. You're so right. Who said that? That's great. Thank you very much. And again, the idea of it looking great doesn't have to be the goal here. If anything, I would suggest, if doing it for a therapeutic reason, that you definitely don't focus on it being looking pretty, and just being you exploring and being creative, working things out. You know, I was like, I don't know, because I haven't stapled any of these pages together. I was like, how will I? And I just taped some bits across, and that's kept that in place. That is a really simple example of problem solving. That is creativity. That's being able to look outside the box. Okay, I don't have staplers. I don't have a way of putting the seams together. right now. But yeah, that's where we get that from. Authentic self, we can put that in there. I think on the other end of things as well, if you do want to do it purely for a expression piece where you do want to make something that is publishable, self-publishable, that you want to put out into the world, you can be as meticulous with it. You can start with an ideas point of view where you have an idea and you work out what you want to put in it, and then you go out and collect your images and your information and whatever you want to put into it. On the other side, there is also, you can start at it from, if you're a photographer, for example, or you already have somewhat of a portfolio or things you've collected, then you can start with your material and try and work out if there is a theme or a story to be told within those. It's so fun. At least I think it's fun. I do. Okay, that's going to go in there. If instead therapeutic, it becomes frustrating, what then? So if instead of therapeutic, it is becoming frustrating, it might not be the self-soothing act that you were hoping for it to be. There is a good chance that your frustration is coming from your sense of not being happy with what you're putting out there, that you're not proud of what you're putting onto the page. So in that case, I'd ask you to work with that, with a therapist if you wanted to, or you could try and have a go on your own if you want to be a little more proactive. But I do recommend you be careful when you're practicing things, because we don't want you to be getting upset or struggling more or more frustrated without any support. So one way that I would use art therapy is to highlight people's internal conflicts. So one of them being perfectionism. So they want to put something out into the world, but that idea of being perfect very much draws them back. And you can kind of highlight this when you're making something and you're not having, say my client was saying, I'm getting frustrated, it doesn't look good. I go, okay, what are we frustrated at here? That it doesn't appear to look nice. It's not supposed to. This is just an exercise. This is us playing with creative materials. It's just expressing our emotions. It's not about the finished, polished product, right? The finished piece. But without doing this practice, you might not have been able to highlight that perfectionism in yourself. Because sometimes it's hard to understand perfectionist state of mind, because we all want the best for ourselves. We all want to put our best foot forward. And it can be hard to understand that you're not just presenting yourself in your best light, that you are going above and beyond to be not yourself, that you end up making more mistakes, that you're unhappy. So yeah. I do know how to have a good ramble. Anxiety no longer holds me back. That's definitely got to be used in one of these. Who knows about Carl Rogers? I'm going to go here, I think, for that. So I already did like a little picture of him, at least how I see him anyway. Carl Rogers is the founder of the humanistic approach in psychology. The humanistic or person-centered, as you might know, is the counselling that you will generally access through counselling services. It's that talking therapy, right? and they believe that all can be mastered. All problems of the mind can be alleviated by simply providing the core principles of counselling, as in open-mindedness, non-judgment, unconditional positive regard, a safe space, acceptance, all these different things of just allowing someone to speak openly and freely helps someone. Being able to repeat back to them some of the things that they're saying, allow them to hear what their views are in someone else's voice, can really be helpful in understanding their own brains. Carl Rogers created the humanistic approach, along with Harold Abraham. So humanistic psychology emphasizes the inherent potential for self-actualization. Self-actualization is that idea that the basic needs hierarchy. First, you need warmth, food, water to be able to breathe. That's the first layer, right? Without that, you cannot have a relationship with people. You cannot get a job. You cannot provide for other people. You can't really have friendships. And this hierarchy of needs goes up, and at the top is self-actualization, what Carl Rogers perceived as like the ultimate goal in life, where you will find your brain matches your ideal you, who you want to be in the world, and who you actually are. I know a lot of people struggle with who they want to be in this world, and it very much differs from who they actually are. This in itself is not being the authentic self, right? So we honor Carl Rogers when it comes to what he says, because he believes that this loss of authenticity occurs when we prioritize conditional positive regard, i.e., when you do this for me, I like you. When you say things that I approve of, I like you. And that's a terrible way to live by. Quite a lot of the time, we were brought up like this by our parents and socialized like this at school, further on during the workplace. So it's really important to make sure that you're not losing yourself throughout this life. And just gotta, I'm trying to place this in a way that it actually works. Okay, I think we'll go there. I'll put this here, I believe, I think. I like a lot of the yellow here. Anxiety no longer holds me back. Because I've talked about it openly with my mate Carl. And these are just some extra little bits here of what can happen if you don't manage to stop masking. So by being someone you're not, you're telling yourself that who you really are isn't good enough. And you can end up feeling lonely, disconnected from others, and even worthless. Losing the real you can be so difficult to help you find you again. You see this, and without the cringe, I'm going away to find myself. We laughed at this sentence so often, but actually there's some merit to it, right? This idea of like, I've been just living a certain way for so long, I just need to get out and experience life in a different way, from a different perspective, and learn better who I am. And sometimes you can take going away to abroad to be able to do that. Problem with that is you're going to come back, still be you, and back in the same situation. So you might find there's a little bit of a going back to how you used to be. So I always think it's very important to find thyself within the environment you usually live, because that's the environment you need to survive in, and not just survive, thrive, you know. So I'm just getting these stuck down a little bit. And like I said, you can leave these completely handmade, or I could even scan it and put it into the computer. And then I could print it myself, or if you fancy being all professional in that. Sorry, my words are not finding me today while I'm trying to concentrate on this. You could literally go to a printer's and have them printed. If you get it set up into a PDF file, that would be really easy for any printers to see what you want and produce that for you. Which I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool. No one knows what that's from. Jonathan, sounds crazy, but what if we tried to meet Maslow's hierarchy of needs from top down, finding ourselves first and then finding security in our environment? Wow, that's quite a good take. So the way Maslow would answer it, I believe, is that it's not possible. That self-actualization cannot possibly take place without the basic needs, and the additional needs in between that. However, I would argue more that where those things are placed on that hierarchy triangle are not in the correct place. And not everybody needs, I don't know, a roof over their head necessarily, to be able to be to develop a creation or invent something, or to be happy, or to have friends. Whereas some people would definitely need that roof over their head to be able to move forward with the rest of the things. So yeah, I believe, or at least my reply to that is that where Maslow puts things on the triangle could be argued as incorrect, or not necessarily like that for everyone. Does that make sense? I realise that was quite a janky way of answering that. There are many different approaches as well. I love Carl Rogers. I love Maslow. Again, I like Freud, but we don't need to take him too seriously with everything. My biggest influence is Paul Gilbert, Dr. Paul Gilbert, who I studied under at Derby University. And he is the founder of compassion-focused therapy, which is what I do. It's my main squeeze. And it's all about this idea of being kinder to the self, because being non-compassionate to the self can lead to physical illnesses. Physiological responses to stress are not good for us. And similarly, our connection to the outer world. There's a lot of suffering in many forms. And it feels like there may be a little more suffering on its way in various other forms, or the same fascist forms we've been seeing creep out. And it's a time to band together with your neighbour, to have compassion and understand why someone would be politically or ideologically misaligned with you, understand where they're coming from. Do not engage in any hateful bigotry, fascist behavior, just because it's being baited out of you. And we can use compassion for all of this, whether it's ourselves or our connection to the wider world, society as a whole. We need a more compassion focus. And it is a focus because it doesn't naturally come to us. Some people find it more easy to do. Compassion is a three-way flow. So you have the compassion that I show to you. Can I give compassion? But then there's also you receiving compassion to me. How good are you at receiving compassion from others? And then there is giving compassion to yourself. And we know that talking to ourselves our brains cannot decide, cannot figure out if we're being bullied or talking negatively to ourselves. Just like our brain can't work out if there's actual food in front of us or we're just scrolling through the Just Eat app trying to get some food. You'll notice next time you go on your app or you're ordering food or you're thinking about what you want, your mouth will start to salivate, your stomach will rumble, and your body will prepare itself for eating food. It has no idea that there's no food in front of you. You're just fantasizing it. And if you can fantasize that, you can equally fantasize how negative you are in this world, your position, your beliefs, how people think about you. And it makes us feel terrible on the inside and on the out. So we'll talk a little bit more about it. If you've got any more questions, anything you'd like to talk about next time, please get in touch. Please do. A different podcast official at gmail.com. The link is in the description. And if you've stayed with us and you want some more of this, a little bit more of this, or you want something different, say, Steph, don't do this ever again, please. Let me know in the comments below. Give us a like, subscribe maybe. Every little helps, as it were. Trying to get resources and help to all our ADHD, autistic, and just anyone that feels different in this world. Helping them, support them, advocate for them. If you'd like any support yourself, please get in contact. Our website is www.adifferenthumandesign.co.uk. And again, the email is adifferentpodcastofficial@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Jonathan, you've been absolutely amazing. I love chatting with you today, and your knowledge on psychology is quite up there. I love being able to have a highbrow chat with y'all while I glue bits of magazine to bits of paper and call it a job. Thanks very much, guys. Have a lovely day, and I'll be back on Monday. Night, guys. Night. I'm used to ending the podcast at 8 p.m. Take care, guys.